Two massive data centers that will be erected right next to Cape Town's International Airport could use up so much water that the city could be completely devastated once the first drought hits. In fact, if the city were to once again implement water restrictions as it did with the recent drought, these new data centers would use up all the water that would have kept up to 500,000 people alive. This amounts to roughly 10% of the city's total population and total water usage. Earlier this month, the City of Cape Town's Municipal Planning Tribunal approved an application for two massive data centers right next to Cape Town's International Airport. These data centers will cover over the total area of more than 120,000 square meters, which is roughly 3 times the size of a major international rugby stadium such as Loftus-Versfeld, or around 12 times the size of Loftus's actual grass pitch. These centers will be erected at King Air Industria, a large modern industrial and logistics park of about 72 hectares. These two data centers will be built by the US multinational company Equinix, a digital infrastructure company founded in Silicon Valley in 1989 and headquartered in Redwood City, California. The company already owns and operates a global network of about 280 data centers, where more than 10,500 customers, including cloud providers, telecommunications companies, banks, and other large enterprises, house computing equipment and connect directly with one another. It is well established as one of the world's largest data center and internet connection companies, renting secure space, power, and network connections to hundreds of other organizations around the globe. According to the application that has now been approved by the City of Cape Town, the projected electricity demand for these two data centers would be around 174 megawatt. This is enough power to power roughly 130,000 homes. That is, to provide electricity for nearly 500,000 people. But the scary part? That which I just told you is everything we know about these two new massive data centers. So here's what we don't know. We don't know where the electricity needed to run these two data centers will come from. In other words, we don't know whether new generation units will have to be constructed, what upgrades the municipal grid will have to require, who will pay for these upgrades, or what the consequences may be for electricity prices and security of supply in Cape Town. We also don't know how many backup generators will be required, how powerful they will be, how frequently they will operate, or how much diesel will be stored on the site. Another thing the general public remains in the dark about is how much noise the cooling equipment, generators, and other machinery will consume, particularly during electricity interruptions. We don't know what additional roads, substations, transmission infrastructure, pipelines, or other municipal infrastructure will be needed, or who will ultimately construct it or pay for it. We also have no idea who these data centers would be rented out to, or which companies are interested in using them for what purposes here in South Africa. But by far the most important one, and the most significant one, especially in the context of Cape Town and its history, which very recently suffered one of the worst droughts in its history, we don't know how much water these new data centers will consume, at least not officially. What we do know is that in the city of Tucson, Arizona, the council recently voted unanimously to terminate negotiations and all agreements relating to huge data center campuses that would have reportedly been connected to Amazon. And we know that they did so precisely because of the huge amount of water that data centers would need to consume. In another similar example, the city of Santiago in Chile likewise had a court overturn the initial approval for Google's proposed $200 million Cerullos data center. Once again, the issue was the amount of water that this data center would consume for its cooling system. These examples are particularly relevant for Cape Town because both cases involve cities which often experience extended droughts. Because the Cape Town's facilities cooling system has not been disclosed, their water consumption remains unknown to us. But if the Cape Town facilities performed at the global average for these types of centers, they would consume anything from 2 billion liters of water per year to around 40 billion liters per year once fully operational with a conventional cooling system. In this scenario, these data centers would be consuming around 12 million liters of water every single day. Now consider for a second the impact that this would have on Cape Town. The city currently does not have the infrastructure to even provide for its current residents in case of a drought. In fact, the only time when Cape Town do have enough water to actually provide for its residents is during times when there is plentiful water and plentiful rain. You see, in the case of Cape Town, the infrastructure for water was never updated to the standard to actually service the population growth that happened there during the past 2 decades. We explicitly saw this with the last drought in Cape Town and how all the families in Cape Town had to be rationed on how much water they were allowed to use. As things stand, the city currently uses on average just over 1 billion liters of water per day, or just under 370 billion liters per year. Yet, during the recent drought, the city had aimed to reduce the total consumption to less than 450 million liters daily. Against that emergency target, these centers would consume almost 3% of the entire city's water allocation. These data centers alone would effectively consume the water allocated to 250,000 people for home use in case of such water restrictions, or if both are built, 500,000 people. In case of day zero rationing, the water used by these data centers would equal that at least of 500,000 Cape Town residents. Furthermore, in a country whose economy has been hampered by an energy crisis going on for decades, the question remains where all the electricity needed to run these centers is going to come from. These are the kinds of thought-provoking questions and unfiltered analysis that our team here at the Willem Petzer Group brings you every single day. We bring you this message now precisely because these data centers haven't been built yet, and by raising awareness we could mobilize people to act before it's too late and before we see another disaster in Cape Town. But we can only continue doing the work we are doing with your support. If you're still watching this video right now, you are already an integral part of our solution, but you have the opportunity to take that support to the next level by simply following these easy steps on the banner below and becoming a patron of the Willem Petzer Group. Because here we not only identify the problems, we also want to work towards solutions, and the very clear solution in this place is for the City of Cape Town to simply be transparent with Cape Townians and provide us all the information needed so that the general public can be informed as is their right. The reality is that we don't know how much water these envisaged data centers are going to produce because we have almost no information about how they will operate, and none of this was open for public debate before the choice was made by Cape Town. Because ultimately, if these data centers could somehow be sustainably managed without hurting the electricity and water supply, and more importantly even maybe the economy of the city or the people of the City of Cape Town, then it could actually constitute a welcome boost. But the reality is that with this little information that we currently have, before the choice was made, it looks a lot more like a disaster waiting to happen than a welcome boost. Because the City of Cape Town has now given this project the green light already without ever consulting the public, the very people they are supposed to represent at all, this is unacceptable. But it is just another one in a long line of poor decisions that the Cape Town municipality, headed by Mayor Jordan Lewis, has made over the past few years. In a recent video, for example, we pointed out how Hill Lewis is squeezing the middle class dry with some of the most expensive rates and taxes on the planet. If you want to check out that full analysis, you can do so by clicking on this link appearing on your screen right here. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and thank you for the gift of your time. Goodbye and God bless.